Big Ed here today, and I have my Smith and Wesson Model 1000 12 gauge shotgun right here. This one was one of my father's shotguns. It's a hand-me-down, and I got it, and my brother got it when he passed away. This gun was manufactured from 1973 to 1984. As you can see, it's a 12 gauge right here in 2 3/4 inch shells, full choke. It was also made in Japan to the specs of Smith and Wesson. So we'll go ahead and we'll just take a couple quick opening shots right here. I have two kinds of loads today. I have a pure target load, which are making for us out here in eastern Long Island, and it's basically the same thing as lead, but it's just steel shot in 7 or 6, and I haven't found any in 7.5s or 8s yet, but that's probably in steel. That'll be tough. It's not heavy enough, but we're gonna see if this gun cycles this stuff, because a lot of these older auto loaders like high brass stuff and they want to cycle full stuff. So we'll see if this one will cycle it. But the one of the selling points to this firearm back in the 70s and early 80s was that it would cycle both target loads and high brass game loads. And so let's just go ahead and take a quick couple shots with this just at the water, and then we got some targets that we will shoot at later. Pump these off right at the water. So as you can see, this is an autoloader. They don't call them semi-automatic with shotguns, and the bolt stayed back once we emptied out the gun. And there is a plug in here because this gun is used for water, or was used for waterfowl. My brother and I have kind of retired it right now because it was my father's. It's probably about 40 years old. But you can see the serial numbers early. It's 10,000 series, so it's an earlier model gun, but you can just see the gun is beautiful. It's you know, with the chrome bolt right here, the varnish on the wood right here, the checkering, and it's in really good shape too. I looked on the internet for these guns earlier, and they're probably running about $400, $450 in this condition. You know, the only downfall to this gun is that it's a full choke barrel. Even the 2 3/4 is a deal breaker for me. So you can get plenty powerful shells in 2 3/4. But you know, so it's tough to find loads. And these are my regular hunting loads for this weapon right here. It's a number 4 shot. You really want to shoot a number 2 at ducks, but you don't want to shoot anything bigger through an old barrel with that full choke, because you don't want to blow the end of your barrel. So that's the downfall of this gun. But I've basically been in the market for a new shotgun, and looking at Benelli's and Browning over and unders, and I was like, you know, let me take this out of the safe, and for the money and what this gun's worth, this is a pretty good firearm, and it cycled those just fine, and those are target loads. So we got, you know, we're gonna cycle both of them, and we're gonna shoot some targets right here. But pretty cool gun. It field strips pretty easily, just like the rest of the semi-autos. And this gun would be designed for I would say really an upland game gun. You know, this would be a good gun for pheasants, quail, grouse, partridge. The wooden fore-end comes off, and the barrel comes off, and that's basically it right there. And you know, you can take the action bars off, get the bolt out, and get it you know, clean all that. It's pretty easy. And that's also, that's the gas ring right there, and you can see the pistons and the gas system in there. Basically it funnels the gas down here and just pushes the shells down, you know, and then also pushes the action back too. But this gun wasn't, you know, it had a lot of competition, so it never really took off. But for the money now, it's a good shotgun. I also have a Remington 1100 that's very similar to the same thing, 2 3/4 full choke gun, and that gun's about 2 pounds heavier. This gun is extremely light. It weighs nothing, and I believe the point of balance on this gun, I think, is about, yeah, it's about 6 inches right in front of the trigger, which is really nice. So it balances well, and it's really quick handling. And the auto loading function works great on it. So for the money, you know, you can find these used it's pretty cool. And this gun's probably about 40 years old, but you can see all the scrolling on there. And I mean, nowadays you have to pay a lot of money to get scrolling like that on a firearm, and also to get varnish work on a firearm. So let's go ahead and shoot some of these targets right here. We got some apples right here we're gonna throw into the water. And those will simulate ducks, because that's mostly what I've done with this shotgun. So I have these are the target loads right here, what we just shot, the number 7 steel right here. You can see that's definitely low brass. So we'll go ahead and we're just gonna start taking out some of these targets right here. And this gun has always functioned for me well too. And it digests, all sorts of, different kinds of shells, which is really nice. But, definitely a bird gun. That's good. So let's go ahead and we'll shoot some of those apples out there first. We'll take out that 2-liter, and then we'll go for the apples first. We'll try to get some quick ones here. All right, so we got some number 7s here. Let's go for some of our targets right here. Let's go for some of those apples out there. Basically 2 in the magazine right now, and this firearm without the plug in it will hold 3+1. Right now it's in a 2+1 configuration, because you're only allowed to have 3 shells for waterfowl. So let's try to wipe out some of these soda cans right here. Okay, short work of them. We got a we got a high brass in here. Out these jugs. High brass load right there, and number 4 shot right here. A little more shot.